One, two, three. This is Coffee with Ori.
Hello, everyone. Happy Monday and welcome to my show. Today, I will be I represent the Food Alchemy Network, which is Dr. D. Uh, and today we're going to pay homage to one of my artists that actually, this is also a tarot card that I have to print out. Yes, I like them big this way. That was painted by a talented artist from Patterson, New Jersey, who lives in Maryland, named Monica Ashley Brown, whose mother is one of my really good friends, whom I love very dearly. Lovely people. Now, again, happy Monday. Today's topic is going to be about finding peace and harmony within yourself and also peace and harmony with your surroundings. I have to first begin by explaining that none of us are perfect, and I don't think that anyone should actually push themselves to become perfect because we're not perfect people. What I can say is that unfortunately, in the society that we live in, good people are often looked down as if they were doormats. I know because I used to be one of those people that used to allow people to walk all over me. But this message is for both men and women and children and people of all ages. You know, there comes a point in life where you do everything you can and you do everything right. You try to heal people, you try to do the right things, you try to do things consistently to look good, not to look good for society, but to look good for yourself and feel good inside because you're doing some type of work, whether it's spiritual work, whether it's healing work, which is light work, whether it's Reiki, whatever it is. But there's always a problem when you're trying to do something to uplift yourself. There's always a problem with people always trying to sideswipe you or people trying to make you feel like you're less than because they've either done it or they're doing it and things are moving well for them. And as sad as it may sound, I would say that a great percentage, maybe like an 87, 89% of the people who push you down because they make it seem as that they like let's say for instance they have a talk show and they're doing really well and they don't want to help you with anything and they see that you start to do well and then they start to try to push you down. It's only because they're envious and jealous, not because of what you have, not because you can do things better than them or you're less qualified than them, but because who you are as a human being. Because being an amazing human being is like being a star, an actual star in the sky. Okay, you shine all the time, you smile all the time, you may have an infectious laugh, you may be kind, you may dress good, you may carry yourself well, and that brings a crowd of people. So a lot of the times people that give you a lot of accolades, they're not really giving you a lot of accolades. They're giving you some type of fake emotion to make you feel good about yourself. When in reality, you don't need that. You don't need anybody to co-sign you. You don't need anybody to say, oh my God, you did an amazing show. Well, you know what? You're not here to do an amazing show. Like me, I'm here to just do a show. I like what I do. You know, I am a great reader. they're better readers than me. I've met a lot of young readers that are amazing. I've met a lot of old readers that are amazing. But you know what? I'm also going to say that I am a good reader. I'm not going to push myself down and allow anyone to say, oh, no, you're not. You know what? I don't steal. I don't believe in lying to people. I try to be as honest as I can. And I think that that's what happens to good people in the world. You know, you're honest, you go to work, you do the best you can, you give it your all, you give 110%. And just when you think that that they acknowledge you for being who you are and acknowledging you for the type of person you are, something doesn't go right. And that's what they complain about. 1,001 things you did right, but the one thing that you forgot to do, then you get criticized for it. And that breaks your peace, which it should never break your peace, because no one should ever have the power to do that to you. You see, no one has the power to make you happy, and no one has the power to make you sad. If they have that power, then shame on you, because you've given them that power. And unfortunately, people that live off of other people's happiness, if you really dig deep down inside and just observe them, you will start to realize that they're miserable people. They're miserable people that don't have good lives, that have more problems than you. So they're always trying to direct you in which way you need to go because they're so unhappy with themselves. So what do we do about that? Well, what I do is I send light and love. I send light and love to people that I care about that are toxic. I send light and love to family. And yes, you know, one of the important things is that you have to learn that you cannot give people your power. Now, as a spiritual being, as a white lighter, and as a healer, what I've learned is that if I am around someone who I've been around for many years and that person has usurped my energy or usurped my ideas or has made me feel like I'm less than because of the fact that I either loved them as a friend or brother or sister, and I allowed them to do that to me, what I do is I close my eyes and I chant and I ask the universe to return my power. So everything good that I did for them comes back to me. Everything comes back to me. Why? Because I'm reclaiming my strength. I'm reclaiming my power. I'm reclaiming the gifts that I gave you, the gift of my kindness. Because you have to know that anytime we're trying to be great at something, it starts with one small step. And once you reach the goal where you're doing God's work, Spirit's work, the universe's work, the stars, the angels, whoever's work you're doing, once you realize and you put in perspective, once you put everything in perspective, you'll realize that you have a choice. And that's the thing that sometimes we think we don't have, which is choices. You know, sometimes I said it before, and I'm going to say it again. There are women who should not be mothers. There are horrible mothers out there. But then again, you have to really look at them and analyze them and ask yourself, well, why are they going through that? Maybe because their own mothers didn't have a mother to really raise them the right way. So they're only repeating in the cycle what they've seen. But then you have people who have had great moms and they are just misled or misplaced on this planet. Somehow or another, they became misplaced and they have this I don't care attitude, and everything that comes out of their mouth is I don't care, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care. Well, if you didn't care, you wouldn't cry. If you didn't care, you wouldn't allow things to fester in your mind. If you didn't care, you wouldn't be trying to destroy your life because you're unhappy. So you want to kill yourself because you're unhappy because of a man or because of a woman or because of both. So before you start putting out in the universe how miserable you really are, or let me rephrase that. Instead of you putting out that energy to people that care about you, that you're miserable, and constantly repeat the fact that you're miserable, why don't you just keep it to yourself? Like I said to you once, I'm going to say it to you again. I am an advocate for suicide because I've attempted it many times and I suffer from depression. But what I don't like are people who cry and cry wolf. I want to die, I want to die, I want to die, I want to die. Take a million pills and then they call you, oh, I'm trying to kill myself. You know what? You're not really trying to do it. If you want to do it right. Go to the biggest building, jump off. Go in the middle of traffic and just let go. I know because I've done it when I was a child. At the end of the day, what did anybody ever know that I was doing it? No, I didn't. I didn't tell anyone. Why? Because I really did not feel like I belonged here. But through the grace of God, God felt that I did belong here. So I'm here to tell you that no one has the power to make you feel that way. Enough to want to destroy yourself. For what? For another human being, because that's all it is another human being that may or may not want to be with you, may or may not be realistic with you, may or not be lying to you on a regular basis. But whatever it is, you know. The spirit knows, and the spirit will always tell you and show you who people are. That's what Maya Angelou said. When someone tells you who they are, or they show you who they are the first time, believe them. Believe them, because you can't make up crazy. You cannot make up abuse. You cannot make up a person who's belligerent. You can't make these things up. These things are real. These things exist. And sometimes people, when they fall in love, they become so psychotic where they want to control everything you do. Like I said in one of the shows, I said, you know, I probably am the most nastiest bitch you ever want to meet when you date. You know, yeah, I like men, but at the end of the day, when I meet men who supposedly like me and they call me 5 times a day, like, what are you doing? Well, I'm doing the same shit I did 15 minutes ago when you called me. I don't like that. If I'm with you and you're in my bed, we wake up in the morning, I get up, I know what I have to do. If I know you're working and I work from home, I make sure that I make coffee, whatever, because you deserve that if you're good to me. But once you leave my house, there's no reason for you to call me 5 times a day. None whatsoever. If you don't know where the soap detergent is in the house, then obviously you've never been paying attention. If you don't know where the Ajax is under the sink, then you've never been paying attention. But don't call me for bullshit, because at the end of the day, that's the problem. That's one of a big problem that creates conflict within yourself. So your pretty day becomes a miserable day, and then everything around you becomes miserable. And that shouldn't be that way, because you know what? Life is really beautiful. And I'm sad sometimes. I'm saddened by the fact that it took me so long to realize how beautiful life was, because like I said, I always felt like I didn't belong here on this planet, in this life. And unfortunately, it's because of the fact that I have been reincarnated so many times that the energy that I feel sometimes can overwhelm me. Am I really disappointed? No, I'm happy. I live happy every day. I wake up every morning with a smile. I thank God every day for just giving me another day. I thank the universe for give me the power to be able to smile, to be able to see things for what they really are. In other words, not just accept people's word, but to see them and see through them and see, because we all have the ability to see through people, and we all have the ability to know when something is right and when something is wrong. If we choose not to listen to that inner voice, then that becomes a problem to you. It's your problem. It's not their problem. They did not mislead you. Spirit has been trying to tell you. God has been trying to tell you, but you just have not been listening. So if you really want quality of life, then there are things that you have to do. You know, in the book, like I think I mentioned this some at one point too. You know, the book Think and Grow Rich and many other books about people that are billionaires and millionaires. How do they achieve that? Well, you know what? I do this every morning. I get up in the morning, I sit down, I drink a bottle of water, and then I just erect my body and I stretch my arms as high as I can. I hold them both like this and I stretch as high as I can, as high and as hard as I can. And then I start to spread them out sideways. And then my hands, I start to bring them up and down and this way and that way. And then I reach down to my feet and then I stretch my body like a snake. I erect my back and then I go down and I go up slowly. And then I put my hand on the side and I take deep breaths, at least 10 deep breaths and let them go. And then when I'm done with that, I get up, I make my bed because I do not leave my room without making my bed. And then by making my bed and doing these things, it gives me purpose. And because I have purpose, I'm able to do the things that I need to do. Remember this. This is one key that I want you to remember. The brain has exactly, I would say, 10 seconds before it starts to convince you. So you have 10 seconds from the minute that your alarm clock rings or the time you get up for you to decide what you're going to do. If you stay in bed, then you will continuously stay in bed. But if you don't stay in bed and you decide to get up, then you get up and you do these exercises and you will see that there will be changes coming. It's a positive way of thinking, but it's also a realistic way of thinking. You're on, I'm off. So at the end, when you look at what it is called survival mode, it's really not survival mode. It basically is your mind telling your body, get up. We need to do this. But at the same time, if your body is exhausted and your body does not want to get up and your mind doesn't want to get up, then you know what? You stay in bed until you're able to get up, because what people forget is that the body is like a machine. The body is like a car engine. The body heals itself. It's a mechanism. It works. The more you sleep sometimes, the more your body will heal. So you have to take that opportunity when your body is telling you sleep to sleep. Because if you don't, then you will start to get stressed. And eventually down the line, you will start to get panic attacks when you don't sleep. And other things can happen to you. I'm not a doctor. I'm telling you and I'm speaking to you from experience. Now, again, back to what we were saying, all of this is connected. Find a way to make yourself peaceful. There are ways to listen to things. There are ways to meditate. There are ways to do many, many, many things to bring you at peace. Sometimes writing things down and constantly writing it consecutively, maybe like, I would say if you write something down 55 times, you will be able to write it, read it, write it, read it, write it, read it, and you will be able to actually let go of it, which a lot of people don't understand that. The brain has the capacity to bring nightmares, but it also has the capacity to remove the nightmares, but it all works with you. Now, there is a new commander-in-chief in this country. And I'm not saying that he's perfect. Many people don't like him, but he just started. Come on, give him a break. I mean, when Obama was president, everybody expected so many things because he was a black president. They expected, that he was going to do this, he was going to do that. At the end of the day, you should never have expectations of human beings, ever, because a human being will always they will always disappoint you. All human beings will disappoint you. It doesn't matter who they are, who you think they are, whether they're your friends, family, or whatever. When you have no expectations, then it's good, because if they do something to hurt you, it shouldn't matter to you, because at the end of the day, you never expected it because you had no expectation. But if you have expectation of people that you think they're going to be the way you are and they're going to change, they're not going to change. They're not going to change to make you happy. And if they do, they're only pretending. Know that. When people do things to hurt you, they know that they're hurting you. They just choose not to care. So why do you? These things are food for thought. I mean, those people who follow me online know that I write the thought of the day, and I also write an affirmation, which I've done for many years, but then I stopped for a long time. But you see, I've been under this program through Dr. D, which is biofeedback, which people may think that it doesn't work, but biofeedback is an amazing thing. I know that it's fixing parts of my brain that I never thought it would fix. And I don't think the way that I do. I'm not angry like I was. I'm happy. Those things that I acted like a kid with, that bothered me and tormented me, the people and the blame game, those things are over. I have no time for the blame game. What I do in my life is this, and this is an advice that I give you. If you want to take it, you can take it. If not, you can throw it in the garbage. When someone hurts me or does something wrong to me, I don't wish them well, and I don't wish them bad. I've learned to take away their power by looking at them, looking at their transparency, really looking at who they are and looking at them and imagining as if they were a piece of paper that's invisible, a translucent paper. So if I can't see you and you no longer exist in my mind, why am I wishing you good and why am I wishing you bad? There's no reason for it. So therefore, I keep my energy to myself. So instead of sending you light and love for the damage you did to me, I send myself light and love for being able to walk away from something that actually was toxic for me. And it's just food for thought, guys. You know, it's about living happy. Like I said, we have a new commander-in-chief. I'm not saying that it's going to be easy, but I'll tell you one thing, we needed to change. We really needed to change. We already know as human beings how racist this country is. Not just only whites against blacks or vice versa. This country is racist amongst each other. Blacks are racist against each other. Hispanics are racist against each other. White people are racist against each other. And it's all about social class, which in reality, they strip you of your clothes. They strip you of everything. What do you have? Nothing. You're exactly the same. So technically, you're the same when you die, and you're the same when you're born. You come into this world with nothing, and you leave this world with nothing. So once you think about those things, I want you to really focus on what it is that you desire. And if you desire to be happy, it is all up to you. Like I said, no one has the power to make you happy, and no one has the power to make you sad. You know, the unfortunately the social caste in America, and it's not just in America, in the world itself, is not about being happy. You know, they want to always make people that are less than them feel like they're less than them. And then somehow or another, they want to poison people that are Caucasian, that are poor, that Black people and Hispanic people and other types of people are responsible for the fact that they don't have a job. No, bitch. You don't have a job because you don't have the education, or you don't have the smarts, or you feel that you are privileged to have these things. And unfortunately, it doesn't work like that in the world. They think that it does. It does not. You know. So how do we change our mind thought? Well, what do you want? What do you want for yourself? Do you want to be happy? Then you create your own system. Your system should be, you know what? I want to be happy every day. So I'm not going to judge that person because that person has less than me. I'm not going to judge her because she wears one shoe with a heel and one shoe without a heel. I don't know what her problem is. Why even bother? The only thing that I can do as a human being is if I see this, she got different color socks, I can say, listen, I don't know you're aware, but you have two different color socks. But if that's your way of being funky, I get it. I don't have a problem. So I think if we start to analyze life and we start to treat people, everyone, I don't mean just people outside your home, because I know a lot of shitty people that treat their families and friends Very different. They treat their friends as if their friends were gold, and they treat their children or their family like their family was shit. And I don't believe in that. I believe that if you love the people that surround you, then you need to fill yourself with love. Even at work. At work, it's always going to be a difficult yandra because of the fact that you're working, you know? So at the end, how do you change the world? Well, you change the world one person at a time, and you change the world with one feeling at a time. First you got to fix the problem inside you. You got to change the program that you have been born with, and you have to make it fit your personality. If you're a kind person, why are you going to be kind to some and be mean to others? It doesn't work. If you're a good person, be good. But if someone hurts you, it's not a matter of trying to destroy them and being so angry. No. And don't even be angry at yourself. If someone hurts you and unfortunately, you chose this because you allowed yourself you saw what was coming, but you just felt that they wouldn't do it to you. Don't ever think that. Don't ever think that that you can make a change in people's lives, because if you can't make a change in yours, you're definitely not going to make a change in somebody else's life. All you're going to do is be fighting all the time. And if you're going to be in a relationship and you're going to be fighting all the time, then why bother to be in it? Maybe you may choose it because the sex is good, but you know what? If you found one person that gave you good sex, then that's sad, because obviously it's more than that. Some women and some men just like to hear pretty things. I like to hear people call me pretty and oh, you're so cute. I enjoy that. But you know what, guys? I got a mirror, and my mirror doesn't lie to me. The mirror shows me my wrinkles, and it shows me all my flaws. And at the end of the day, the only person that has to like me is me. And I do. Now, before we go to commercial and before we start meditation, okay, I want to show you like I said, Monica Ashley Brown, she created these cards for me, these tarot cards, and they're like this. This is one design. This is another 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 design. And this is another design. Now, for all of you who know that, one, that I am a spiritualist, one, two, that I am a Yoruba priest, you'll understand that in religions, we have mothers and fathers and godfathers and whatever, and so be it. My mother, my guardian angel, my crown is Yemaja, which is the queen of the ocean. She is the queen mother. So this card is very relevant, not just for me, but for everyone else. See, if you notice, she has her eyes are not there. But she doesn't need her eyes to see when she has her heart and she has the vibrations. Not just the vibrations within her hair, but also within her tail and also within her body. Fishes are cold, okay? And the ocean is very cold. But you see these symbols here. These symbols are of peace and of joy. The Ankh, which is the first cross. The Ankh signifies the female, the penis, the male, and then the children, family. But this particular card speaks out to me. And the reason that it speaks out to me is because our water is in danger. The world is in danger. Our water is being polluted. The animals are dying. And we only hear in the news what we want to hear. We don't really want to hear everything that's going on. We just want to hear about the presidency and, oh my God, Mr. Trump lost. Well, guess what? He has the respect that I still call him Mr. Trump, but in reality, he's a jackass. So at the end of the day, this is the only thing I care about. I care about what's happening to the planet right now. I care about what's happening to the people right now. I care about what's happening to the babies that are being born now, which, by the way, they're being born a hell of a lot smarter than we are. So a lot of them are being born with big heads. It's not that they have big heads, they have big brains. So they're going to be crystal children that are amazing because they're born, they're born in the dawn of Aquarius, and this is Aquarius. Now, this card is also very, very, very important to me. Why? Because it's the Ankh and it's the all-seeing eye. And in conjunction to each other, the universe watches everything. God is looking at everything. And because the Ankh represents life, male, female children, it represents the beginning. The colors chosen are amazing colors. And the symbol here means change. It means a lot of positive things that are about to happen. A lot of people are being pushed to believe that the world is coming to an end because the churches want you to believe that the world is coming to an end. Come on, guys, really. The world has been ending since before I was even born. At the end of the day, what's happening is revelation. What people may not realize is revelations is all about politics. And if the world is to come to an end, it's not because biblically it's coming to an end. It's because humans are going to make it become prophetic and actually happen. Because we as people don't know how to leave things alone. We have to keep messing with things. So this card is very important. Focus on family. Focus on nature. Focus on the evolution of things that are coming. You people that have gotten an awakening in 2020 and you were going through so many things, focus on this card, which is the lotus, but also the symbols, what they mean, which is peace, harmony, but also strength. So think about everything that you guys have been through and ask yourself, do you want to go through what you went through last year? Do you want to suffer? Do you want to be in pain? Or do you want to move forward? Love heals. And that's what you have to remember. Love heals. You don't have to love everybody. Just love yourself. Start with loving yourself. Once you begin to love you, you will see that you will heal. Why? Because it is important for you to understand that love is the answer. In the clubs growing up, I came out at a very, very young age. So I was clubbing at 14, 15 years old. And I remember going to the tunnel, and I remember that when the AIDS epidemic hit, it was so hard because I lost so many people that I loved and family also. And it was very heart-wrenching because, like many adults, my mom was very ignorant to the cause, and she had her views, and I can't really blame her because she came from a society where, unfortunately, things were the way they were. But I took it upon myself one day to get a friend of mine who was an AIDS counselor to give me all this literature in Spanish so that she can educate herself, and she read and she understood. But it didn't make a difference because her son was still gay. And maybe I felt many times as if she was either afraid that I would get sick or she was thinking that I should get sick. I don't know which one, to be honest with you. But nevertheless, I know where I stand. I know my status is. I've always been careful, and I don't really care. I mean, HIV is like getting cancer. No one wants it. It happens. Now, this card, before we go over to commercial and before I start meditation, because yes, we will start doing meditations from now on. This card is very, 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 very important. Okay. Not so much as, don't look at the signal in the bottom. Look more at the signal that is not this one. Look at this one. Okay. Because if you've seen this symbol, you've seen it in all of them, which is the symbol about love and caring and healing and all of these things. Now you see fire and you see water. It's happening. It's been happening for a long time. There's not just fire in the woods. There's fire in our hearts. There's fire in our souls, in our minds, in our spirits. So water is the next element. People think that fire is the strongest element, and it really is not. The strongest element is water. Water can destroy anything. Water can make holes in rocks. A drop a day into one rock, it will make a dent. So think about that for a while. Look at this picture and observe it really well. This is not hell and brimstone, okay? I believe personally that hell is where we are now. And I believe that, water is salvation. Water is purity, and water is our life force, because we, just like the world is made up of water, so are we. So we need to respect our bodies and drink lots of water, not Gatorade and not Mountain Dew. Lord knows that here in Florida, everybody drinks Mountain Dew. I don't understand why, because it's like crack. But anyway, water is the key. Water is the key to replenish the body. Water is the key to keep things healthy. Water is the key to many, many, many things. Now, water also has a lot to do with tears. People cry. We talked about what? We talked about unifying. We talked about bringing everything to closure, finding love within yourself and feeling comfortable in the spaces that you are. You cannot find peace where you work, where you live, unless you learn to control your mouth. A tongue has no bones, but a tongue is also filled with what? Saliva. What is saliva? Water. We need to learn to keep our mouth shut, to observe, because there's nothing worse. I can be many, many things in life, many, many things, but there's nothing worse than to have people being miserable and wanting for you to be miserable. I know, because I went through the cycle where I was miserable and complaining about my misery and my sadness. It's almost like I didn't even realize that I was putting everybody through that until I finally decided that I will never do that again. I cannot have pity parties and expect you to become part of my pity party. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work complaining about somebody that you're with. If you're with them and you have to complain about them, then you don't need to be with them. If you're with someone and they're a good provider, whether it be male or female, and you have to talk shit about them, then you shouldn't be with them. Plain and simple. You shouldn't be around people and call yourself a lover, husband, wife, if you're going to talk shit about your spouse. If you don't like them, then get rid of them. But if you know that they're taking care of you, then there's no reason to talk. You have to learn to communicate, because communication is key. And some of us don't know how to communicate with people. I've learned to sit and listen, because by listening, you learn. So before anything happens, if you, instead of arguing with your partner argues with you and you argue back, don't argue. Sit down and say, why are you getting so upset? Let's sit. Let's talk. Let's, conversate about what's going on and figure out where it began. Because there's always a beginning to a story, and there's always a middle to a story, and there's always an ending to the story. Just remember that. Now, hopefully, we're going into commercial. Can we?
Yes, we can. We are ready.
Okay.
Let's begin. Here we go. Da, da, da. It went. Welcome, everybody. For you, for the first time, this is Food Alchemy Network with Coffee with Ori, and we're going to commercial. So you can see, shoot, here it's come. This should ease your mind. This is Coffee with Ori on Mondays, brought to you by Food Alchemy Network. Our host is Ori, an alternative, interactive life coach and spiritualist, among one of his titles. So we invite you on Monday to sit down, relax, key into the information, tap into the information, and just sit back and enjoy. If you have a comment, please insert in comment box. If you have a suggestion, please write Food Alchemy Network, and we'll be sure to sit with you. This, again, is Food Alchemy Network on Coffee with Ori. Thank you.
Hello, guys. Okay. Now we have that short commercial. We're actually working remotely, by the way. That's why everything is so, I'm working from Florida. She's working from California. Also, the production company is working from Arizona. So we have people working from many different areas. So sometimes the connection is good, sometimes it's not, but we're really working on that. So just be a little patient with us. But you'll have me every Monday, and those who want to get read by me know how to get to me. Now, I'm going to play some music and we're going to start to meditate because it's very important. I want you guys to do these breathing exercises. The ones who have been my students for a long time know. I want you to follow this for those who don't know. Find a place to sit where you're comfortable. It doesn't matter if it's in your couch. It doesn't matter if it's in your bed. It doesn't matter if it's on the floor. Find a place where you can actually erect your body and you can sit with your shoulders and everything, straightened. I mean, I know I look kind of crooked, but it has a lot to do with my seat and where I'm sitting. So I'm getting ready to start this. It's called Heal. The producers are Heal and Chill. And the meditation is self-heal meditation music, and it's for peace of mind and tranquility, okay? So as the music goes, I want you to follow my voice and do what I tell you so that you can you can actually walk into being peaceful. Okay, what you hear behind the music is biofeedback. That is what I'm talking about. With biofeedback, that energy is a healing energy, and that's where you hear like the tones, like the. Now I want you guys to sit down, and I want you guys to don't close your eyes. I want you guys to take a deep breath through your nose, as deep as you can, and I want you to hold it, hold it, hold it. And I want you to release it slowly. I want you to take another deep breath, as deep as you can. I want you to hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it again. Now release through your mouth. I want you to take another deep breath, And I want you to hold it. I want you to count to 10, release it with your mouth, and close your eyes and keep them closed. I want you to envision a light white smoke going up your nose and coming out through your mouth. And every time that light smoke goes up your nose, you repeat in your mind, breathing in and breathing out, and breathing in and breathing out, and breathing in and breathing out, and breathing in and breathing out. If the mind wanders, because the brain can only hold for about 2 minutes or 2 seconds or 3 seconds and 3 minutes, not sure which one, but if you feel like your mind is getting scattered, don't get so upset. Just bring it back to the breathing in and the breathing out. Okay? From periodically, I would tell you to stop and breathe in and hold it and to release it. At this moment, while we are breathing in and breathing out, I want each and every single person to think about when they said in 2020 that enough was enough. Doesn't matter what age you are, for everyone that is following me, think back as you breathe in and you breathe out. Think back right before 220 ended. When exactly did you realize that 220 was toxic and that it needed to end well? And that you were going to make a change? Not that you were going to make a resolution, because resolutions are usually resolutions that are never really fulfilled, but that you have decided that you were tired. So instead of thinking, breathing in, you breathe in the negativity and you breathe out positive energy. So instead of giving light and love to everything that has happened, giving light and love to yourself, you breathe in tragedy, sadness, depression, and you breathe out light and love, light and love, light and love, light and love. I shower myself with light and love. Again, breathe in deeply, hold it, hold it, hold it, release it. Breathe in the toxic energy and release it with, I send myself light and love, and I set myself free. I set myself light and love, and I set myself free. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Take the subconscious journey of knowing that nothing that happened this year was really your fault. There were many things that occurred. Many people said many things. Many people were hurt. Many people did a lot of damage, but they didn't really do damage to people like they thought. They did damage to their own selves. So it is time to grasp what you have experienced, the journey that you went on in 220, and ask yourself, did my journey 220 end already? Or am I still in that roller coaster? And if I am in the roller coaster, is that some place I want to stay in? If that is what you choose to stay in, there's no sense in giving yourself light and love if you haven't awakened yet. So you have to find a way to awaken the body, the mind, the soul, and the spirit. Again, you breathe in, take a deep breath, hold it, count to 10 and release it slowly. Now, as you breathe in slowly, repeat these words, relaxing the mind, the body, the soul, and the spirit. Relaxing the mind, the body, the soul, and the spirit. Relaxing the mind, the body, the soul, and the spirit. Relaxing the mind, the body, the soul, and the spirit. Relaxing the mind, the body, the soul, and the spirit. Bringing our peace of mind back to where it needs to be, which is in our mind and in our spirit. And we allow the soul to carry it and to carry us. Again, take a deep breath. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Now release it slowly. I send myself light and love. I send myself light and love so that my mind, my spirit, and my body can heal itself. Because this is what we're working on. We're working on self-love. We're working on healing. And we're working on making sure that we are able to stand alone and to face everything that you want to be able to face without looking back in time and saying, I'm still carrying what has happened in 2020. Shower yourself with light and love every day. When you look in the mirror, you close your eyes and you say to the universe, I live in gratitude. I live in gratitude of the light and love that the universe and that God in the universe showers onto me. And every day you repeat that. I live in gratitude of the shower of light and love that God and the universe gives to me on a daily basis. And the more you get into the habit of repeating that, the more your mind, your body, and your soul starts to connect together and becomes one in unison. And that is what you need, because the brain is very powerful. And although we believe that we are connected just here in this universe, we're not. We're connected in all the universes, and there are many universes. So we are connected to each and every single universe, whether you believe in that or whether you don't. It's been proven, it's being proven every day that there is not just one universe that exists, it's many. So therefore, within this plane, there are many universes. And we are different people in different planes. So the key to meditating is to bring all of those people that are you into one mind, body, and soul. And how do you do that? You do that by sending yourself light and love. Let's do one more. Take a deep breath. I take in all the bad from 220. I take in all the pain and the sorrow and the rejection. I take everything that I've suffered through, that I've allowed myself to suffer through, and I release it with light and love. I release everything negative with light and love, and I shower myself with light and love. Take another deep breath. Breathe in, hold it, count to 10, release it slowly, and find that tranquility from within yourself. And just once you count to 10 and you release it, just sit. And sit back wherever you are and ask yourself, how do I feel at this particular moment, at this particular second? After doing this for such a few minutes. How do I feel? How does my body feel? How does my mind feel? Because it should feel relaxed. Never forget, because it should be an everyday thing, making your bed, as simple as making your bed, it gives you purpose. And that should be the first thing you do in the morning. Before that, drink water and stretch yourself. But once you are getting ready to brush your teeth and you brush your face, as I do, or you shower and you look in the mirror, you tell yourself and you tell the universe, I live in the gratitude of all things that surround me. I live in the gratitude of God and the universe for all they provide. And I send myself light and love. I shower myself with God's light and love every single day. And you will see how things will start to change. Living in gratitude. It is an honor to live in gratitude. It is not an obligation to live in gratitude. It is an honor. Gratitude is not something that you should feel that you have to do it because it's the right thing to do. The universe really doesn't care whether you do it or not. The universe cares about good energy and it discards bad energy. So if you allow yourself to tell the universe, as you do with water, I love you. I know that you're all healing and all powerful. The water will respond. But if you tell the water you hate it, the water will respond in a negative way. The universe is the same way. Love and be in gratitude at every moment of your life. Because without gratitude, you have no gratification. You have no satisfaction. Nothing will come to you the way you expect it to. So, expectations on having in abundance or having a good life all depends on the gratitude that you show the universe that you have. Thank you for allowing me to receive these pair of sneakers today. I live in the gratitude of everything that you give me. I live in the gratitude for people to love me, to share things with me. Or I live in the gratitude for the finances that come to me from different directions, from all types of people all over the world. Just by using the word, I live in the gratitude, the universe will respond. God is all seeing and all knowing. And just what I'm saying to you about living in gratitude is also the same thing that I say to walk by faith and not by sight. Because if you really trust in the universal God that exists, then you have to trust that if you really walk by faith and not by sight, everything that you desire, you will receive. If you start learning to ask the universe and God to put your life in divine order, God, your spirit, your angels, your guides, they will all collaborate together to make sure that your life is in divine order. So take a deep breath and always remember that anything you want, you can achieve through gratitude. Keep your mind focused. Keep your mind out of gossip and problems. Try your best not to lie, to steal, to do anything that can go against the balance of purity. I'm not saying for you to be pure. What I'm saying is it goes beyond the balance of purity. So keep your mind focused on the light within yourself, the light that the universe shines, and treat people the way you want to be treated. And even if they do not respond to you and do not treat you the way that you would like to be treated, it doesn't mean that you have to treat them any different. You continue to be you. And you remember that you are not God. You cannot forgive them. You can forgive only yourself for the anger or the things that you feel. Again, this is Ori. This is Monday. This is the day that I come on. I send you all light and love every single day. I wish you nothing but light and love and prosperity and health overall. With all our brothers and sisters that are out there that are going through so many crises, economical crisis, emotional crisis, and health crisis, I ask all of us to ask for love and light and send it to them, to the people who are in need, for the people who are in quarantine, for the people and the children and the elderly that are going through so much pain and sorrow. Send them light and love, but send it with your heart, not because I'm asking you to, but from your heart. Send them light and love and lift them the way you lift yourself.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was very wonderful for you to join us on this meditation with Ori. Thank you so much for participating, and we look forward to seeing you on Mondays. That is Coffee with Ori, and on Fridays, our spiritual connection. So don't forget to come by Food Alchemy Network, and we will be on this same time, Bat Station, with Spiritual Connections on Friday. And thank you for being so patient with us through all the glitches. We look forward to being of service to you. Good
And
night,
light and love.
everyone.
Good night and light and love to all of you, my friends, my family, everyone that's out there, everyone who needs light and love. I send you light and love.